Hi, everybody. It is the 11th of February, Saturday. We played in Corpus Christi last night and then drove back after the show to Austin. Got in about 5:30 this morning. And we are off to Waco, Texas now. And then we will drive back after the Waco gig. And I think we're here for 2 more days in Austin. But show was great last night. I mean, it's so funny. The night before, we're in the Green Hall, and it's like like Gillies, it's this big rowdy place and everything like that. And last night was this beautiful theater. The audience was great, but I mean, it's there's just a sedate quality when you're sitting in a beautiful theater where the audience isn't quite as nuts as they are when they're in like this big rowdy place. So I love both of them. It gives us a chance to really experience everything like that. I'm gonna get some music out here, and then I will probably be back with I'll find out what the place is like in Waco, and I'll film that and put that up later today. But for the moment, I'm going to go back. I've done a number of albums with this artist, and I just love working with her so much. She's such a total pro and so good. And that's the great Reba McEntire. And we did an album back in '89 called Sweet 16. I've done a number of videos on my channel about Reba, and this is the first time I think I've visited this album. But a little heads up on this. It says Sweet 16 is the 16th studio album by American country singer Reba McEntire, released May 1st, 1989 on MCA Records. 4 singles from the album entered the Billboard country charts. The #1 hits Kathy's Clown, a cover of the Everly Brothers song, and Walk On, and the top 10 hits Till Love Comes Again and Little Girl. The album title derives from it being McEntire's 16th album, counting compilations and Christmas albums. The album was certified platinum by the RIAA for selling over 1 million copies. The album debuted at number 17 on the country albums chart for the week of May 27th, 89, and peaked at #1 for the week of June 24th, 1989. It stayed at #1 for 13 weeks. The album sold over 500,000 copies in its first 9 weeks. And the band on this is like just incredible, other than the bass player. So it's me on bass. The drum duties were shared by the great Eddie Bayers and my brother Russ Kunkel. Guitar was Brent Rowan and Michael Thompson and Billy Joe Walker Jr. The steel guitar is Donnie LaValle. Acoustic guitar is also Billy Joe Walker Jr. Dobro is Jerry Douglas. Mandolin is Glenn Duncan. Piano is Billy Payne from Little Feat. Synth is Mike Lawler. Fiddle is Glenn Duncan. Sax is Joe McLohan, I think is how he pronounces his name. The background vocalists, it's great. The background vocalists are Dave Loggins, Judy Rodman, Patty Loveless, Steve Warner, Susie Hoskins Wills, and Vince Gill. Not bad. And the vocals are Reba. It was produced by Jimmy Bowen and Reba. Jimmy Bowen is the reason I worked in Nashville. And I did tons and tons of records in Nashville with Jimmy Bowen as one of the main producers I worked with, because I used to work with Jimmy when he lived in Los Angeles, and he moved down to Nashville and contacted me, and he said, would you like to come to Nashville and work? And I said, I'd love it. And ended up going down and doing most all of his records that he did at that point, from that point on. The project coordinator on this, one of the most vital people on every one of these projects that I did with Jimmy and Tony Brown and different producers, was the wonderful Jesse Noble, who always took care of getting everybody there and taken care of and all that. Really amazing. It was, let's see, Bob Bullock was the engineer, along with Tim Kish. It was mixed by John Guess, wonderful John Guess, and mastered by Glenn Meadows. And I think we did it at Emerald Studios. We did a lot of project in Emerald Studios. But this is called Sweet 16, Reba McEntire, 1989. Let me go ahead and play a couple of tracks from this album. Like they talk about Kathy's Clown. Well, let's listen to Kathy's Clown here. Here we go.
I want your love and more.
So Dolly-esque too.
I want your kisses, that's for sure. I die each time I hear the sound. They're saying, here he comes, he's Kathy's clown. You know you've gotta stand tall. You know a man can't crawl. And when you let her tell your eyes and you let them pass you by, you're not a man at all. She don't want your love anymore. She don't want your kisses, that's for sure. Why do you let them put you down and let them call you Kathy's clown? When you see me shed a tear, then you know that I'm sincere. I just think it's kinda sad that she's treating you so bad, and I'm the one who cares. I want your love and more. I want your kisses, that's for sure. And I die each time I hear the sound. They're saying, here he comes, he's Kathy's clown. You're Kathy's clown. You're Kathy's clown.
Yeah, she's one of these artists you hear like one note and you go, oh, that's Reba. You know, and she's a fun actress. She's a really multi-talented and a hell of a businesswoman. Her business endeavors are pretty massive. But just one of the nicest people you'd ever want to hang out with. We had so much fun in the studio, and she's just a really, what you see is what you get kind of person, which is always great. Here's a song called A New Love. Let me see if there's any additional info on this rascal here. This is a Dave Loggins tune. I loved working with Dave Loggins, another one, and ended up doing stuff on Winona's record that Dave wrote. He's a great songwriter. So here we go, A New Love.
Love's the only thing I know in this life that's cut me deeper than the sharpest knife. And once again, here I am, that paid price for a new love. I still hurt for the one I lost. I'm standing here on a bridge that I can't get across, and I can't burn, but I will when I walk with a new love. And I believe that it's gonna be better than ever before. That's what I'm looking for. cry. But nothing's ever made me feel more alive, and that's why, once again, here I am, looking for the eyes of a new love. I know that somewhere in this world tonight, there's a guy to take a bus, call a train, or a flight. I'd even walk if I thought I might find a new love. And I believe that it's gonna be better than ever before. That's why I'm looking for a new love for this old heart. A new love that I just can't wait to start. To feel that way, I wanna feel that way again. When I find a new love for this old heart of mine. Say I need a new love for this old heart of mine. I believe that it's gonna be better than ever before. That's why I'm looking for a new love for this old heart. A new love that I just can't wait to start. To feel that way, I wanna feel that way again. When I find a new love for this old heart of mine. Oh, I'm looking for a new love for this old heart of mine. Say I need a new love for this old heart of mine. Oh, I'm looking for a new love. Somebody tell me what I find for this old heart of mine.
The fun of doing these albums is generally, man, we're nailing these songs like within 2 or 3 takes, sometimes the first take. Put together a number chart on these and then count it off and go for it. And the thing that was always great, and this is what I appreciate about an artist like Reba, she's there for every take singing, because if you don't have the artist singing, it's just a chart. It's not a song until you hear the vocal on it and know where the dynamics are, and you want to know what the lyric content is. You don't want to be doing a song, a real up happy track, and find out that the song was all about somebody dying. So I've always appreciated the most when the artist is actually on the session and kind of inspiring the band to play, rather than them coming in later and we're just cutting tracks. I mean, it can do a great job and everything, but there's that other level that happens when the artist is there involved too. So let me find another tune here. I love this record. It was really fun. Let's see. Here's one. Let me see if there's any writer's credit on this. Oh, this is great. Written by Don Schlitz and Reba. Don Schlitz, I believe, wrote The Gambler for Kenny Rogers. And this one is called Am I the Only One Who Cares? I am, really I am. Here we go.
Jamie turned 14 tonight, but she didn't blow out the birthday lights.
I love this feel.
Jamie and her mama had another big fight. She locked herself in her room. She climbed up on her window seat, sat and stared at the cars on the street, listened to her own heartbeat, and whispered to the moon, am I the only one who cares what I do? 'Cause if I'm the only one, then who can I turn to? Oh moon, can you tell me that it's not just me and you? Or am I the only one who cares what I do? The moon said, Jamie, can't you hear yourself? You're acting like there ain't nobody a big old breast. You know what you gotta do. There's one more thing before I go. A woman's been standing at the window below, searching for the words to let you know how much she loves you too. And you're not the only one who cares what you do. And I'm not the only one that you can turn to. Now Jamie, please believe me, it's not just me and you. And I'm not the only one who cares. She cares too. Jamie heard her mama softly knocking at her door. The moon just smiled and whispered, y'all don't need me anymore. I'm not the only one who cares what you do. And I'm not the only one you can tell your troubles to. I've done the best I can, now the rest is up to you. And I'm not the only one who cares. You both care too. You both care too.
I've talked about it a number of times where we've done these gigs at the Library of Congress called We Write the Songs, and it's for ASCAP, the music publishing company, where they bring in a group of songwriters who talk about the process of songwriting. And then there's a beautiful, beautiful small intimate theater in the Library of Congress in Washington. And so the audience is like a lot of senators and different people with political clout, and it's basically to help protect songwriters' rights and all that. And Paul Williams, the wonderful Paul Williams, is the president of ASCAP at this point. But what they would do is they'd bring in all these different songwriters, like about 6 or 8, who knows? It would depend each year. It could be Randy Newman, Lyle Lovett did it in the past, Hart, all kinds of different people. One of the people who came, one of the last ones we did before the pandemic hit, was Don Schlitz, who wrote The Gambler. And The Gambler to me was always, it was really a good record, but it was more of a novelty thing with Kenny Rogers. And we got to do it with Don. He sang it. And man, did it turn into something different. When he was singing it, his interpretation and stuff, when we did the first run through with it, because I'm part of the house band that does it. Chris Caswell is our musical director on it. I love working with Chris. And so we ended up doing this and just kind of looking at each other going, wow, this is a much deeper tune than I ever thought about it in the past. It was such a pleasure to do this with Don. So it was cool. Let me do one more tune here, and then I'm going to get ready to head off to our madness. This is called It Always Rains on Saturday. Let me see if we got any. Written by Quentin Powers and Kendall Franceschi, I think is how I pronounce the last name. And Reba was involved in the writing on this one also. So here we go. This is It Always Rains on Saturday.
On Monday the sun really shined. On Tuesday the weather was fine. Wednesday and Thursday went by. By Friday the clouds filled the sky. This morning I knew it would I heard your voice and I knew the sky turned a new shade of blue, and it looks like rain. It always rains on Saturday. The dark clouds came, and the sunny days are gone away. This house feels so cold. It always feels like this when he goes away. There's really nothing new about the rain. It always rains on Saturday. I look into Billy's young smile and watch Big Bird go wild. His daddy will be here by 8. Seems like the sky's turning gray. There's an overnight bag on the stairs beside a one-eyed teddy bear. I hold Billy and try not to cry, and whisper, kiss mommy goodbye. And it looks like rain. It always rains on Saturday. The dark clouds came, and the sunny days are gone away. This house feels so cold. It always feels like this when Billy goes away. There's really nothing new about the rain. It always rains on Saturday.
So it's Reba. Sweet 16 is the album, 1989. I love working with Reba. Every chance I had, it was really a joy to be in the studio with her. And she's, as I said, she's good people. Good people. And so I'm going to get ready now and head off to Waco. And have a great gig tonight. It's been so much fun with Lyle. God. It's so fascinating doing this tour because I've only toured with him doing the large band with the 15-piece band. So to have 4 of us now and doing a lot of the same material but completely reinterpreting it to accommodate this instrumentation is it's really interesting to me and really fascinating to wrap your head around doing things in different ways. And we're having a great time with this. We still got a month to go on the tour. We finish about a month from now, I think, shy 1 day. So have a wonderful day. I will probably be back later on today with a venue tour. And I love doing that. I just love wandering these places and discovering, as many nooks and crannies and see what's going on as I can, and kind of sharing the backside of these gigs, because as audiences, you come in the lobby and you sit in your seat, and that's the hall that you get. So as much of the hall as I can expose is really fun for me, and it makes me be moving just to climbing staircases and stuff. It's keep the aerobic workout going here. So take good care, have a fabulous day, and I will be back later on today, and I would just wish everybody all the best. And again, kind of like when I started this channel, and every day I was doing shout outs, which I still think exactly that way about COVID and the first responders and all the people working in medical facilities helping, because COVID is not gone. It's still going on, and there are still people hospitalized, and the numbers may not be what they once were, but there are still people dying. There are still people suffering with long COVID, and there are still people working in the hospitals trying to save these people's lives. And my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to the people who are so desperately trying to find people still alive in this catastrophic rubble of Turkey and Syria. And every time I turn on the news, there's, it's getting longer and longer into this. The chance of finding people alive is diminishing, but boy, miracles do happen, and they still are finding people underneath this mountains of rubble that are surviving. So, man, my heart's with all of them too. So, just take care every day and just be grateful to have another day. So I will talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.